Today was a real cute day, wasn't it?
Today was a great day.
Rainy day here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, ton of rain.
Michael went to Gymboree for the first time.
It was everything, you guys. I love watching him interact with other kids. Like, because he goes to a daycare for a couple of hours a day. And even seeing those limited interactions is so sweet. There's actually one kid in daycare who I think he's probably a couple years older than Michael, and his parents just had another baby. So for a while, he would call Michael his little brother, and he would like every time they were in kids club together, he would take care of him like he was his little brother, like hug him
Yeah.
when Michael got there and like really take care of him. So
yeah.
we saw him earlier today and I was like, okay, take care of him, okay? And when I went to pick Michael up, he said, I took care of him. I was like, I love this kid. He's everything to me. He's everything. But Gymboree was a blast.
Really great instructor, fun music.
He could sing.
The instructor could sing.
I was impressed.
Yeah, and Michael, like, it's just going to be great for him. His goal has been to climb up a slide at the park.
Typical.
You know, it's a little dicey at the park.
Yeah.
The metal slide. Like, I don't love him climbing up it. But here, they had these cushiony, slanted little hills, and he got up.
By the time we left, he had climbed up it all by himself. I think you helped him like a couple of times just so he could
Gave
get
him
the
a
ropes.
little tush push.
Yeah.
Just at the beginning.
But he smashed it. I was so impressed with him and so excited for him that he finally got that moment. And we had a great time. It was the first off weekend that we have had.
Well, not a full weekend. You're working tomorrow.
I am.
But it was our first day off we've had in probably 2 months.
Yes.
I'm MICK Torres.
I'm Ashley Argota Torres.
And we are Mismo.
Great segue.
We work hard.
Yeah.
We don't take breaks very often.
No.
I would love to have a couple of days during the holidays where we really, truly do no work. And I will point out to you that on today, our first day off we've had in 2 months, it is 9 p.m. and we are recording a podcast.
And what did we do right before we recorded this podcast, Mick?
I had a self-tape. Yeah, that's right. Your boy had a self-tape.
So, I guess the phrase no days off in this house is kind of true. However, it is the first weekend day in a while that we have had that we've just been able to.
Well, neither of us worked our main side hustles today.
Right.
Which was day off adjacent.
Yes, for us, that's a day off.
What's your main side hustle?
My main side hustle is I teach acting classes at this program called Actors Giving Back, founded by David DeLuise, and they're amazing. I realized earlier this year I've been teaching at Actors Giving Back for 10 years, I think.
Wow.
Which, if it's not 10 years, it's close to 10 years, because I think that's when they started. And I've loved it. I think I just think it's a blast. I was really nervous to start it because I guess I didn't really know like what I would have to offer. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know. I've just been doing this since I was a kid. So I guess.
A little imposter syndrome?
Yeah, a little bit of imposter syndrome. And the whole point of it's me and a bunch of like my old Nick and Disney friends teach the classes. And I guess a part of me was just like, I don't know. I kind of just fell into acting as a little kid. Like, what would I have to offer? But it's great because they really take a lot of pride in like the kids learning from a lot of different people, because when you're on set, you're working with different directors all the time, different writers, different like all of these things. So you're hearing a lot of different things. So it's really great because a lot of us get to teach there. And I don't know, I've really, really loved it. I feel like I've done it a lot more this year. I feel like I've ramped up a lot of the teaching, but it's been really fantastic. I love it.
I think you do it really well.
Thank you.
A lot of the classes are on Zoom, so I get to hear, and I get to hear the kids' reactions to you. And they all seem excited when you're their teacher.
Thanks. I make a point to, I think because when I was a little kid, I had an acting coach that scared the crap out of me. And I make a point to be really supportive and really encouraging.
Yeah.
Because I just,
Like, how old were you when you had that acting teacher?
I was like 6 or 7.
Okay, that's young.
I was young, but
That's
it wasn't even that he was mean. I just got scared by him. He came in a clown outfit once. And
that's not the type of scary. I was thinking
yeah, like a
like
teacher, like
Whiplash,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
J.K.
yeah,
Simmons in Whiplash,
yeah.
like they see something in you, so they push you to like be the best that you can possibly be. Like that kind of scary teacher, I love.
Right. That's not what
We're
I.
not talking about that.
No, I had that teacher who came in a clown outfit for a class and just like scared the living
A
daylights out
clown
of me.
outfit?
Yeah, but I've also
Okay.
had teachers who
Why the clown outfit?
I don't
I
remember.
don't mean to take us on a tangent, but
No, I don't remember. I
okay.
wish I remembered why he did it. I just remember feeling that it was very strange and because it was. And I was also a child.
All
Why
right.
would you do that to a child? But I
You're so nice when I hear you. You're a nice teacher.
thank you so much. I really make a point to do that because I also have had teachers who they're very like use your trauma, like what sadness can you think of and all of that. And or they'll just be like plain mean. I think I've only really gone to like one acting school that I really loved. It was when I was doing True Jackson VP, and I think that acting school was amazing. So I kind of try to model my teaching around that, just because that felt like such a joyful environment, and I learned best in that environment. So I try to keep the vibes high, positive energy. If not to say that I don't give notes, I do give notes, and I be honest. You know, I try and be as honest as I can, but there's no reason to do that in a
In a clown outfit.
in a
Agreed.
clown outfit.
Agreed.
Anyway, that's what I do. What do you want to tell our audience? What you do for your side hustle?
I am a personal trainer at Equinox, and I have been with Equinox for 8 years. I've been a personal trainer for 10. Took a little break to start my own business, and then I came back.
Yeah.
Talk about imposter syndrome. The first Equinox location, some of my coworkers were a former linebacker who had played for the Green Bay Packers. Most of them had kinesiology degrees. They were serious. I mean, people who, like, a woman who placed top 10 in Olympic barbell national competition.
Huh.
At my current gym, one of the other trainers just won a physique bodybuilding competition. One of our female trainers just won an Olympic powerlifting, not powerlifting, Olympic lifting
Wow.
competition. Yeah. And, I was a theater major. Uh, so my first year, like, I just have this great career at Equinox totally by accident.
But you're so good at it. Let me just interject and say he's really great at what he does. You are really great at what you do.
Well, I put a lot of pressure on myself in the first couple of years I was doing it to catch up because I had severe imposter syndrome.
Right.
Equinox is expensive. It costs a lot to spend an hour with me, and I was like, I'm not worth that much.
But you made it worth it.
I caught up on the science.
Yeah.
I've gotten certified in a number of different things.
Yep. Name them. Come on.
All right. Pre-postnatal, which ended up being incredibly valuable.
Thank you.
Well, that's the great thing about it. All of this stuff has been so valuable.
Yeah.
Yoga, kettlebells.
Oh, kettlebells, I love.
I'm a certified behavioral change specialist. I'm a certified brain health trainer.
That's just some of them. That's what he's remembering off the top of his head. Didn't you do bodybuilding?
I did do bodybuilding. I did group personal training. Like, I'm certified through NASM, the National Academy of Sports and Medicine, and every 2 years you have to do some type of continuing education, and that's within NASM. But then also Equinox is exceptional with the continuing education. They have their own kind of in-house university called the Equinox Fitness Training Institute, EFTI. Oh, now I'm a PT educator for that. I'm one of the people who teaches the new people. And I mean, you know,
You have two careers.
it took a while to land on acceptance there.
Yeah.
In the hero's journey, the refusal of the call scene was way too long. It wasn't like the call to action, and then you talk to one person, and then you're like, I've completely changed my mind. It was like 7 years of like, I'm really not a trainer. I'm really an actor. But this is the fake thing that I do, just so I can have money and live.
Yeah.
But now, no, I think I've shifted to who you are anywhere is who you are everywhere, and just try to be successful in every aspect.
Right.
So to broaden out, here's kind of a question I want to mull over with you. Better to do kind of what I did, or what I've now accepted, and do that side hustle to the best of your ability, and pick something that satisfies your own personal time, money, and happiness equation. Something that doesn't suck. Something you can get paid to do decently well. Something that has flexible hours, and really, like, even if some months, some years, you're focused more on that than you are on acting because you've accepted that's a part of the journey. Or the more kind of what you think of traditionally as an LA actor is like a bartending job or a service job that they don't care about. Maybe they get fired because they have to leave and go to auditions, and then they get a different serving job, and it's, but they don't expect to be there very long. So they put no effort into that because they're going to book the big thing and they're going to leave. And it does happen. Saw a guy today, funny enough, in the gym. So happy for him. He did exactly that. He was a trainer for a few months with us.
Nicest guy, too.
Such a nice guy. And he got a couple episodes on a TV series. And he was like, I'm just going to go full tilt. And he did. And now he's starring in a major TV series, like starring in it. And I'm so happy for him. And that totally, totally worked for him. I kind of need the stability, like, just because my tolerance for risk is lower.
Yeah.
Especially now that we have Michael.
With a child, of course.
Risk tolerance is dramatically lower.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think we've talked about this before. It kind of just depends on the person you are. I think we have a lot of friends, or we know a lot of people who are like down to be in the trenches and like not have that stability. And that's great for them. I'm happy that they can live in that kind of world for themselves and like really feel joy and happiness from that. But we also know people who are like you, who are like, but I need to make money. Like I can't just be like, I don't know where it's gonna come from. We'll see. I will say, I think I've had a like weird experience with that, because I got very lucky when I was a teenager, and I had a really amazing job. And then again, we won't get into a lot of details here, but like obviously that money went away, to no fault of my own. And then I left home, and I had some cash just from like residuals and like jobs that I was doing here and there. I was doing lab rats at the time, so like that was helpful. But then it it dried up, like TV and film dried up a little bit for me, and I was doing mainly theater, which I don't think it's a huge secret that theater doesn't pay as well as TV and film, right? So I didn't have a really stable side hustle. Like, I taught sometimes. I taught when I could,
Mm-hmm.
but I had shows all the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it was like, how much can I like go off and do my side hustle when I'm going to do a show? So I did live in that like very risk heavy life for a while, and I was that creative. And there were so many times that I was like, oh, don't know how rent is going to come through. Like, hope this gig pays me on time that I did. You know what I mean? I mean, I know actors can definitely relate to that. The like, we'll send you your check, and then 2 weeks later, you're like, hello? Am I going to get paid for this? And I felt like I was dealing with that so much. There was just so much stress around it. And very, very honestly, it really wasn't until I met you that you did have a really stable side hustle, and you brought a lot of stability into my life in a lot of ways, and that is definitely one of those ways. And I felt like at the time that we met, I had like like a few side hustles going on. Um, and I think it was definitely you who encouraged the like, no, go full send into teaching, because like you're getting paid to do something that like you really love doing that, and it's kind of in the realm of acting. So like go full tilt into that. Like the other stuff doesn't matter.
How does it benefit you as an actor? Like just being around it and teaching it, like there's two schools of thought. I feel like those who can't do teach, but you obviously can do.
Right.
So I feel like the other thing is like to know that you really understand something, teach it to somebody else.
That
Yeah.
is really where I feel. But I will say there are definitely times, especially when like TV and film work is really dry.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many times that I'm like, oh, am I in the school now of those who don't do teach?
No.
Yeah,
But it feels that way.
Yeah, there's a lot
when you've had a slow year.
Yeah, I know. I know that is not true, but there are still times where that, of course, creeps into my head, and I'm like, I have to remind myself of. I used to have on my vision board. Do you remember this? I used to have on my vision board a piece of paper that I typed out that said "You did that," and it was like all of my career accomplishments.
What you have done.
Yeah, all of the things I have done.
Yeah.
I don't remember. That. Yeah, I don't remember where I saw it. I feel like I had seen it somewhere because somebody was like, you are manifesting all of these things, but like, don't forget all the things you already have accomplished. So I wrote down like, at 15 years old, I was on Nickelodeon and I stayed there for years and years. And then I made it to like, I wrote down all the great things that I've done. And that was really, really helpful just to kind of have that written down. So in those moments where I felt like, oh man, is this it for me? Is it all over? I was able to kind of look at that and go, okay, it's slow right now. It's not forever. It's just for now.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But I think it has made me a better actor because I have to explain it to everybody. These kids like really challenge me because these concepts that I've just like known for so long in my life, sometimes I'll say something in a class and then somebody will raise their hand and be like, I have no idea what that is. A great example right now is I created a curriculum for AGB that I'm teaching kids the business of acting right now, because that's not something that you really learn. You learn all of the like creative stuff, which is awesome. But these kids have been in AGB for a while, and this is one of their advanced classes. And I thought, I get so many questions about the business part of all of it that I was like, let me just like do a class on this. And it's humbling. There's so many times that the kids stop me and ask questions, and everything that I'm saying it comes so second nature to me, but it doesn't to them. So it really, I feel like has sharpened not only my acting skills, but my like business skills of acting, because I have to explain it in a way that they will understand. So it's difficult, but it's very fulfilling, and I think it does help acting. How has training helped you in your acting?
Well, most obviously, I can train for pretty much any role.
Yeah.
I stay very, very in the middle, very well balanced, and then I can like lean in and turn the volume up on any aspect of fitness that I need to. I feel like online you see all the time like quit your job so that you can do fitness, because it's like strength, hypertrophy, mobility, balance, cardio, nutrition, regeneration. Like, it can become a very time consuming thing to do your fitness. So I'm efficient with it. I think that's one of the things that I do. Like, I train busy people, I train working people. So if they're going to spend 2 or 3 hours a week with me, I try to hit all of those categories. So like a lot of warm-ups will be balance and mobility, and then we're having like our strength as our kind of our meat and potatoes, and then there's some kind of metabolic conditioning finisher, and then we're stretching at the end of the workout. But to give an example, Bali High, I stopped lifting completely because I think that character, it's probably like he's a sports agent. So he probably like played high school sports, wasn't good enough to go play in college or play pro. So I didn't need to be in astonishingly good shape, but he has also just finished his yoga teacher training. So for the 8 weeks prior to filming, I stopped lifting completely, which was pretty weird.
Yeah.
Like, that is the longest I've not lifted weights in my adult life. Yeah. But I was doing yoga very rigorously, like 6 days a week. So I still was getting strength, just in a different capacity. Like, when I say strength, I'm usually talking about like a 1 RM to a 5, like a 1 rep max to like 5 reps. Those lower strength numbers on barbell where you're really, really going heavy. I like lifting that way. The people I learned from liked to lift heavy.
Right.
I like to lift heavy. There's something very satisfying about it.
I don't lift as heavy as you do, obviously, but heavy for me, it's so much fun.
Isn't it? That's so fun.
I'll say specifically, the glute drive is something that I've been working on lately, and I can do 180 pounds on that now, which I know for a lot of people, you're like, really, that's it? But for me, that is a big deal, and like, it's so cool to be able to do it.
I think that's great. I think 180 glute drive is fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you've gotten so much stronger.
Yeah, I think another great example of just like how you've helped me with your side hustle / just second career in general, back in 2022, and part of the reason that we had like taken a pause on the podcast for a minute was I was up for a really huge role on a pilot that was happening, and the audition kind of like came out of nowhere, but I knew I had a good chance for it. So
And you knew the amount of money you were going to make. Because you have to sign the contract before that final callback.
I did.
And we did that, and then we walked Dee Dee, and we were looking at
like
the houses in the neighborhood.
Maybe we could get this kind of house. God.
If we wait until season 3 and just keep our costs low,
we'll have this much money and we can do this.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was so funny. But before we even signed the contract, when I got the audition, said, I think I have a chance at this, and I want to be in great shape. If I'm going to be a series regular on a TV show, I want to be in great shape for it. Mm-hmm. I was already in like okay shape because we'd gotten married the year before, and that's when I really started working out, was for the wedding. And
okay shape. I thought you looked amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I guess let me clarify and say okay shape compared to the shape I am in now. That was okay shape. I'm in great shape now.
Oh my God, you feel better?
I feel so much better.
Amazing.
Yeah, I feel
as a mom
stronger. Yeah.
Do you 100%. Feel the strongest you've ever been?
Yes.
I mean,
easily.
The numbers show it.
Easily the strongest I've ever been. So easily. Full. Yeah, that I turned to you and I was like, I just want to be in really good shape. And you like kicked up my program a little bit, but you know, the process between the audition and then like getting told that I didn't get it was probably 6 to 8 weeks. It was like beginning of January, and then March. I'm not gonna forget, it was around March 4th is when I found out I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I'd like to apologize to your mom publicly for putting her through that on her birthday. She had no idea that any of it was happening, and I got the phone call while we were at their house that I did not get the job, and it was sadness, but everyone was okay. It's okay.
The ups and downs of this life are hard for her.
Yeah, I get that, which is why we didn't say anything about me testing for the show in the first place. And to get that call in front of her was like, oh, we have some things to catch you up on. But after that happened, I turned to you and I was like, I need to get in amazing shape.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want to stay ready so I don't have to get ready. Because it's not that I was in bad shape, but I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a series regular on something. I could be a series regular on something, and I want to make sure that I look and feel my best. And I knew that there was just like more to be done. I knew that there was that extra push. And after I didn't get it, and I said, let's rage, let's go. I want to go for it. You got me in the best shape of my life, and until now I'm in I think the strongest and best shape of my life. But that year we went so hard that year in fitness and health, and I ended up having the best year of my career after a really shitty start to the year.
Best year of your career as a not as a series regular.
Not as a series regular, yeah.
Because you guest starred on 3 shows.
Yeah, I did Free Ridge, All American, and then I was a number 1 on a movie for the very first time in my whole life.
It was a great year.
It was an amazing year, but I'll say I couldn't have done that I feel like because of what we did training wise, like fitness wise, that put me in a different mindset because the discipline, we were so disciplined that year.
That's the best part of the gym is the metaphors for life.
Yeah. And it just helped in every aspect. And I felt like that it was just such a huge, I'm not saying oh, I booked those jobs because I was this weight and this percent body fat. That's not why I booked the job. Mentally, I was in such a locked in place that it was there was no way that anything else was going to, I was booking jobs that year no matter what. Yep. And it happened. And that could not have been possible without you. I really believe that. So thank you.
Of course. Well, thanks for letting me train you. The first 3 years you didn't.
Sorry about that.
We're getting more into training and away from side hustles.
But it's just because it is your side hustle. And I just wanted to show that that you're saying has helped you in your career, and it has certainly helped in mine. So good. I appreciate that. Yeah. Let's talk about time.
Okay.
How?
Time. How? Time.
How? How time?
How time? We just kind of have to do all the things that we're doing. I will say we have made a real point since Michael was born to look at all of the ways that we spend our time and whittle it down and cut some things. Because I think people generally give up on their dream when reality sets in. Mm-hmm. And we have decided that we will not give up on this dream.
Yeah, we've gone hard in the other direction.
And we have given up other things that we care about less than the dream.
Yeah.
So our social life is very limited.
Yeah, but our people understand. Our real ones understand.
Yeah.
And honestly, they're in their own trenches too. So, we may not get to see each other, but we love each other all very much.
The family of artists are doing their thing.
Yeah.
Doing what they gotta do.
We're all just trying to do the damn thing. Mm-hmm. And I love it. I respect it.
I think the time comes down to the communication between the two of us.
Yeah.
With the two of us both being working parents, we've got a pretty well-developed system at this point. We have multiple calendars. Mm-hmm. We reset the week every week. it's coming into the end of the year. Time to do our bigger planning for 2026 and vision boarding and things like that. So
I'll say too, in regards to time, I think a great example of just like where I'm going with this is our writers retreat.
oh great,
And I mean, we did Bali High at the beginning of the year.
we filmed Bali High.
Yeah.
Um, mhm,
And in order to do that, you
mhm.
had to take time off of your side hustle slash second career.
I had to make that work a
You
little bit
really had to make that work.
because I had taken paternity leave. I got
Yep.
10 weeks of paternity leave. I took 6 when Michael was born. I
Mm-hmm.
saved 4.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I ended up taking 8 weeks off for Bali High.
Mm-hmm.
I was gone for 4 for pre-production and like final writing touch-ups in
Mm-hmm.
December, trying to lock down the script, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of pre-production stuff, and then two full weeks for principal photography. But I took my PTO. And then with clients, if you're going to be gone that long, you have to accept the reality that some clients might leave.
Yeah.
I lost one
Yeah.
out of like
Okay.
15. But I had them train with other trainers. Their program had been written for them. You just get your clients covered.
That, and it's also, I feel like when you have to take time off and then you go back, it's also the client almost, they don't forget that like training is part of their day slash week,
Mm-hmm.
but they might have, if they're not like getting covered by a different trainer, like they might have filled that time with like their kid has to like go and do practice, or like they have other things to do. So it's always so funny when you go back to work watching your clients remember like, oh right, I have to go to the gym. I gotta train. I gotta like do stuff now. And it takes a second, I feel like, for your clients to kind of lock back in. But for the most part, they lock back in, which is really cool.
Yeah, that depends on the client.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But in order for us to get significant work done, we have to oftentimes take our side hustles and be like, BRB.
Right. Right.
Right? Like the writer's retreat that we took this year
Right.
was amazing.
It was great. Well, in September, we went to my parents' house, which meant babysitting.
Free childcare. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
But it allowed us to get a lot of work done.
Yeah, what did we go on the writer's retreat for? What did we write?
We were doing rewrites on The Kindness of Strangers, which is the script that we wrote about my life and my childhood and my relationship with my mom. And it's a script we started back in 2020. We did it back in 2020, and then it won the Asian American International Screenplay Competition in 2023. And we went to New York for it. We got a table read for it. And then we went on our honeymoon and then had a baby. So,
You skipped the important detail that the week after we had met all the producers who were going to help us make that movie, the writers' strike began and we weren't able to take any of those meetings.
right.
Which is a big reason that we wrote Bali High, because it's a lower budget.
Yeah.
And
Easy to make movie.
we decided that would be easier to write a whole new script and make that movie first and then circle back and get the Kindness of Strangers made.
Yes. But all of our attention was on Bali High, obviously, this year. So Kindness of Strangers kind of got put on the back burner. But now that we're in post for Bali High, we were like, okay, now we can turn our attention 2 years later to the notes that we got and the notes that we wanted to address for The Kindness of Strangers. But in order to do that, because the thing about writing too is like you kind of get into a little bit of a groove, but it almost never happens like the minute you sit down to write. You're not like, aha, an idea, and then you just go, right? Like it takes a little bit of like revving up that engine, like we said.
I mean, my favorite writing book is The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield.
So
and he
good.
talks about having territory.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you show up to the same place day after day. Like I have that at the gym right
Yeah.
now. And he says like the divine angels like notice that and reward that.
Yeah. And that's what we try to do on the writer's retreat, basically, was
Yeah.
show up and write. Because a lot of the work that we get done, like this podcast, happens when our son is asleep.
Right.
So but also like we have to sleep.
I wonder if people listening are just exhausted right now.
Probably.
Or if they're like, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope you guys can relate. I think you can.
Well, statistically, like our whole generation and below, it's kind of become expected to have 2 or 3 jobs.
Yeah. We talked about this the other day too. Like there are doctors, nurses, agents, managers now who have side hustles.
Yeah.
Like confirmed have side hustles.
Yeah.
And
The
that's
fancy
so,
people.
the fancy people. Like that's
Yeah.
so wild to me because it used to just be, you pick your job, you pick what you want to do, and then you're good. Like you make your career out of it and everything's Gucci. But it's not like that anymore.
And you're able to
Everybody.
buy a home
Yeah.
in your late 20s.
Yeah. And everybody now has some sort of side hustle. Pretty much, I feel like so many people we know have like the thing they're doing for money and then like whatever their dream is like also going on. So I think this is pretty relatable, you know?
Don't you feel like the American dream was a house and kids, and then the millennial American dream was supposed to be not only that, but we're going to earn that by doing exactly the thing that we want to do with our lives. I feel
Yeah.
like that's what, when we were in our 20s, that's what we were all talking about. It's
Right.
like fulfilling our life's purpose
Yes.
on this planet.
Yes.
But that purpose hasn't been paying our generation that well. And so
Real.
then
Yeah.
now we're like, we have the people who have decided to not give up on the dream have the reality job and the dream
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
happening.
And I think it took a lot to, again, because I started so young and got like the dream job so young, it takes so much just like rewiring of your brain, right?
You did get the dream. Yeah. Yeah, girl. Yeah,
I got the dream job,
you did.
but there are so many ups and downs
Yeah.
that, I think I didn't know what to do with a side hustle. So it took so much rewiring of the brain, and I know it was like this free with training. You just said it was like the more you do training, the more you're like, oh my god, like you have to come to terms with the fact that you are a trainer and an actor. And there was so much rewiring of the brain for me in like going really hard at teaching, because it was like, okay, am I a teacher now? So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
there's so much.
Yeah. You asked me earlier what about being a trainer makes me a better actor, and I answered with the physical part, but there was a second part, which is character study and life experience. So I've been training all of these executives. I'm a W-2 employee for a major US corporation, and those are probably the roles I'm meant to play. I auditioned for USC School of Theater with a monologue from Speed the Plow by David Mamet, playing an agent who the character is probably like around 40 years old. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I played at 27, R.P. McMurphy, who's a 35-year-old man, which is what I am now. I'm just now growing into that, and because I've had a corporate job, when I'm doing like those shows like The Next Succession or Suits, or like I feel like just put me in a suit in a negotiation scene,
You'd crush.
that feels like wheelhouse for me once I get in there, and I have the life experience to draw from now.
Yeah. I tell my kids all the time to not be afraid to live their life outside of acting, because it can only benefit your acting, right? Like if you are if you're just gaining that life experience, you can't only be an actor. And I think I've I've so had to learn that. I mean,
Yeah.
True Jackson was so great and so amazing and so lovely, but like the storyline with Mikey, I'd never been in love. You know what I mean? So I was like saying all of these things that the writers wrote, but like I had nothing to draw from. As opposed to now, I'm happily married. We've been together for 8 years, and like I have so much to draw from. My kid, I have so much to draw from with Michael, and like what our life is now. I'm so fulfilled in my personal life that it only makes my acting better. And I really do feel that way about your training so much
Yeah.
because of all the people you get to, because of the thing that you get to do and the people that you get to be around.
And I want to say one more thing about selecting a side hustle. If anybody listening to this is
Yeah.
doing some deep thought about whether or not they should have one or all of that. Um, you teaching and me training. Now, we don't think that it's a selfish profession to choose to be an actor, but there is a selfish connotation to it.
Sure.
And so the fact that we're in some way giving back and serving others in our side hustle kind of balances things out
That is
nicely.
fulfilling.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah, I agree. I never thought of it that way. That's nice.
Yeah, you're artists, and like I get that you don't want to have to work at anything other than the art that you're trained for. Maybe you have a degree in it, or you know that it's the thing that you're meant to do, but you might have to.
And that's okay.
It's okay, and it's amazing how accepting society has been now of side hustles. Because yeah.
Yeah, there was so long, I think, that both of us were like, oh, but I'm an actor first. Don't worry. Like, I'm still an actor. I'm an actor. It's okay. It's okay.
It was like, I beat myself up about it
Yeah.
really hard because it like, my identity, I just wanted to be
Yeah.
an actor. I don't know. It doesn't make you not an actor or an artist to be a well-rounded person and to just like accept the reality of you have to pay for life on earth.
I think there was a certain amount, at least for me, of embarrassment as well, because especially when you have been successful at the job, then it's like, why aren't you still successful at the job?
Oh, that's really hard to be famous, but not as rich as people would assume that you are because you've been on TV.
Right. And it's not only what my mom did with the money that I made, but it's also just generally the ups and downs of the
Sorry, we should just like insert like a slot machine sound effect every time we mention the money that's gone forever.
Just a womp womp womp.
It's so fun to laugh about.
It is. I can laugh about it now. It's because I turned out okay. I am okay. But yeah, there's just like, there is a certain amount of embarrassment because it's like there's this expectation that because I was successful that I have somehow failed in my life because that money is not here anymore and I have to have a side hustle to live. So again, just like rewiring it in my brain and being like, no, this is normal. Like, people have to pay bills. People say this all the time. Exposure doesn't pay the bills. And it really, really, really doesn't. So like, jobs pay the bills because you get paid to do a job. So just again, rewiring that and just changing my perspective on that was a really interesting journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else on side hustles?
Probably.
There's so much to be said.
It's something we talk about again. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we did an episode on side hustles I can't remember, season like 4 of the podcast before, but I don't think we dove this deep into, and also so much has changed in our lives in the last couple of years. Like I don't think I was teaching this much last time we did this, and I don't think you were training like you are now. Is that right?
I'm definitely training the most I ever have.
Yeah. I don't think you're back at Equinox yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was doing the private thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll say this about side hustles. I don't intend to work this hard forever.
Yeah.
I would love to either accrue enough money to invest it and have some passive income coming in, or like build one of the companies that we work on and then kind of step back from it, or just actually make money as an actor.
Right. I mean, that was my question for you was going to be, how do you deal with / how do you suggest others deal with the mental load and the burnout of side hustle, like doing your side hustle and going after the dream?
Okay. So it's a lot of code switching. For a long time before I met you, I would work at Equinox from like 6 a.m. till like 3 p.m., 5 p.m. Get home, and I would smoke weed because that would you've worked a full day. And most people, after a hard day's work, like to be done with their day and go about just the living their life part of the day. For me, it was like, okay, now at the time I was doing a lot of improv and I was writing a lot. So, especially for writing, I would just like get high and then go to my office that I had put in my garage and write. And then at UCB classes, sometimes I was high, sometimes I wasn't. But I haven't smoked in years now. And I've just had to like figure out how to code switch. And I'm code switching more frequently throughout a day than I was, because it's go wake up early, be a trainer, then come home. It's dad time, it's husband and dad time, it's family time, and then he goes to bed at night, and then we're recording a podcast or writing or whatever the thing that we're doing for Mismo at the time is.
It's a little bit of compartmentalizing.
Yeah, so the mental load of code switching, or I guess, and this is the area to continue to improve for me, is like who you are anywhere is who you are everywhere. So it's not really code switching. It's just me being me in my different environments throughout the day. But I've finally reached a level of acceptance where that feels genuine and true. But I acknowledge when you're starting out in your pursuit of an artistic endeavor, you don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
Definitely
not.
So I think earlier on, it's just, it could be weed, or better option would just be like knowing they say like know your why. Like, why do you want this so badly that you're willing to deal with and put yourself through all of the hard parts of it? I think it's just being really solid in that.
I think also remembering that what I said earlier, it's not forever, it's just for now, allows the both of us to work as hard as we're working right now. Because like you said, we don't want to have to work this hard forever. And I think just knowing like one day we will rest and it will be awesome. And we love it. I mean, I've been on set my whole life, and like I know that is what I'm meant to do. And if what we are doing right now is only feeding into that and going to help that eventually, then
well, yeah. That's why I had to take off fully for Bali High.
Right.
I could not be tired for that.
No.
It was too important. I was exhausted during One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
That job did not pay well enough for me to, and it lasted for 6 months. And I would wrap to an applause in Burbank at 10:30 p.m., get in my car, famished, usually hit it's a 3-hour show with an hour-long immersive
experience beforehand.
It was like a 5-hour night.
Yeah, and like if there were also people who came to see the show, like you would have to see them after, so you wrap at 10:30, but you're really leaving at like 11:30. Like you left late sometimes.
And then I would have 6 a.m. clients in Westwood.
Yes. Now, if you don't know what a LA is, that's not close to each other.
It's not.
Not really.
And it's like, I mean, my eyes were red.
You were so tired.
My blepharitis went away when I quit drinking, but like I had full blown blepharitis.
Yeah.
Um,
Tough. It was tough.
some of my clients saw me like pretty rough in the mornings.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't like, I did well in that. I did that role well, but I know I could have done a little bit better if I had the opportunity to give it my full attention and be rested for it. And like, if that was the one thing I was doing, that would have been awesome. For Bali High, I wasn't going to make that same mistake. So that's why it got my full attention. And thank God, Mom, Michael's Nana, was here, and your dad came and helped too.
My dad was so cool. We were sick the week before we did Bali High, and Dad came to visit, and clutch.
Mm-hmm.
It allowed us to recover a little bit before we started filming. Oof.
I was sick the first day and a half of filming.
We can hear it in a couple of the scenes.
You can hear it. I can. I don't. Hopefully, audiences won't notice, but I can totally.
I can.
I just heard Charlie Sheen on Armchair Expert say he thinks sets should like reshoot day one. Just throw day one away.
Agree.
Because you're just landing.
Hard agree.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd agree that much with something that Charlie Sheen said, but I very, very much agree.
Sure.
That first day, you know what? On Bali High, we asked for, do you remember this?
We asked for a light that, well, you had the foresight to say, you protected me, knowing that I hadn't ever been on, well, first of all, I hadn't been on set, on the same set. No. I hadn't been on the same set for more than one day.
Yeah.
Ever.
And I hadn't been on a set in ages as well.
Being a lead.
Yeah.
So you said, make the first day light.
Easy. Yeah. I was like, can we get the easy stuff? Like, don't do the big climactic fight at the end. Don't do anything emotional. Mm-hmm. Like, can we just find the easy stuff to film on that first day? Because we're just landing. And thank goodness. But it's so funny because I can still tell in the movie, like, what was the first day and what was not. Because he's correct. He's correct. It's just like, it's not bad acting. It's just, you really just haven't, like, sat in the environment. You're going through hair and makeup the first time. You're putting on the wardrobe for the very first time. You're finding your groove with all of these people.
There's no other job where you're asked to like give a major presentation on day one. Day one is onboarding.
Yeah.
At any other job.
Yeah. And there's no, mind you, these are people that we know. The director we knew, the producers we knew, like, we knew everyone, and still you're like, still trying to find your way. This is like a house we've been to. We got married in this house.
We were as comfortable as we could have possibly been.
And still, you feel like it feels so foreign to you that first day. So I'm really like, so agree with that.
I got so nervous.
Yeah. There's something about that camera going up for the first. It takes you a second to like get used to the fact that a camera will be this close to your face for 2 full weeks. Like it's not normal. It doesn't feel normal. Wow, really, really agree with that. Now I have to listen to that episode.
Oh, it's a great episode.
All right. I feel like we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask, to wrap up this episode of the pod, what is one thing that we're doing now that we're going to laugh about in 10 years? Do you think?
I think the working after Michael has gone to sleep.
Oh my God, yeah.
This is preposterous. It's so late.
It's late.
We're tired.
Yeah.
We're going to be like, I can't believe we worked that hard.
So agree with you. Like, it's funny because one of the biggest tips that the people tell you when you have your first baby, especially, is sleep when the baby sleeps.
That's when we get work done.
That's when we get work done.
Yeah.
It's when we get work done. I agree with you. I think we're going to be laughing about that years and years and years from now.
I'm laughing about it right now.
Are you? On the inside?
I don't know.
Is that a tear that I see?
Better than crying.